Hi there, we're going to be learning how to paint a golden doodle Valentine freebie tutorial by a Brady Art Studio. First thing we're going to be doing is learning how to draw first. So we're going to mark two center line. And then we're going to draw a big oval sideways a little bit in the center, up a little higher. Then we're going to be drawing a little smaller oval on the right side above the middle center line, overlapping a bigger circle. And then we're going to be drawing a smaller oval on the right side, overlapping the bigger circle. And then you're going to draw a triangle going downward, overlapping the bigger circle. And then you're going to draw a little smaller oval overlapping the triangle on the left side there. And then you're gonna draw a small little circle on the right side, just a little bit below the middle line, center line there. And then you're gonna draw another same size circle overlapping the little circle that you just drew. And then two triangles overlapping both circles that you just drew on the right side there. And then we're going to draw a little arc line on the right side connecting the corner of the triangle all the way down to the bottom of the page. And then you're going to draw a little triangle outward off the arc line there on the right side. And then draw another arc line on the left side there. And once you have all that, you can go ahead and erase everything. Now would be a good time to touch up anything if you're not happy with how it turned out. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and start painting now. So I'm going to start with the background, and I'm going to paint it like a red color, but I have a bit of a pink hue to it though. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all that in around the dog. So go ahead and do that. And then if you can, while the paint is still wet, it also helps to add in some dark red there or some white paint here and there. I put some white paint in the corner, some darker red paint on the sides a little bit, just to like give it a cool effect with the background there. And it's to make sure, you want to make sure that your paintbrush is still wet though, that's like how you'll blend in everything. Then you can go ahead and start with the heart. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. It doesn't even have to be a red background. But if you do want to do the heart, I did like white paint, like watered down. No, make sure it's watered down white paint. And I just drew little hearts in the background. You don't have to do as many as I did or any really at all, or if you wanted you could even do more. It's really up to you. I want you to try to personalize it to your liking. If you want, it could be totally like mine. Doesn't have to be though. Like I said, it's your painting, so you do it how you want it to. But I'm still just painting a bunch of little watered down white hearts throughout the canvas, trying to blend it in more in some spots so that, like I said, it looks more like a cool effect in the background, like a bokeh effect. I just thought that would be really cool, especially with a heart, and then you have like more attention on the dog. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm liking how it's turning out though. I think it looks really cool without bringing too much attention to the background and taking it away from the dog. And if it like seemed too white, you could either water it down more, like on your paintbrush I mean, and put it on the canvas, or you could put water on the canvas and dab it with the paint with a paper towel, or you could go back over the white part with some of the same background color that you just did, and that'll help fade it out some more. Anyway, now I'm gonna go ahead and do the bandana that you see there. I'm painting it like the dark red, pink, purplish color. I guess like a burgundy color, if you want to call it that. It doesn't have to be that color though. If you want to do a different color, that's totally up to you. But just go ahead and fill in that bandana right now with whatever color you're gonna use. I'm using this color. While the paint is still wet though, try to add in some like highlights and shadows in there. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. If you rather just keep it simple. But yeah, go ahead and add in some white in the middle there and blend it in while the paint's still wet. If it's not, just water your brush a little bit and take some of the same color that you did, fill it in with some white paint. Just go over it quick and that should help. And then now you're gonna go ahead and paint the base color for the golden doodle. I just did like a brown color. It doesn't have to be dark brown. I did more like a medium brown color for the base coat. We always start with the dark color first in the background and then add on layer to it with the light color, just because when you look at something, the shadowed and dark layers and all tend to be behind the lighter colors, right? Especially when you're looking at a person, the sun's shining. It's always the brightest at the focal point, like the very front, and then behind it you got all this ray of shadow. So that's why we do dark color first and then the lighter color. I'm just filling in the rest of the dog with the same brown color. So I'm doing the dog body right now. I'm just doing like a medium brown just because the golden doodle is more of a lighter golden, golden doodle. So it's like the very tannish, yellowish color. If you happen to have like a black doodle or any other color doodle, if you want to paint that color, go ahead. Go for it. It doesn't have to be this color. But now I'm going to paint the heart on the bandana. I did like the pinkish color bandana. I just did a base coat for the heart quick first, and then I'm going to go back over it with more pink to it. But this is just like a regular, little lighter, watered down pink. So I can see if I'm happy with it or not, and then I'll go back over it. It doesn't have to be pink if you want a different color. I just showed this just because it's Valentine Day, but not everybody likes pink. You could do white heart or red heart, whatever you want. Now I'm going to go back over it with the pink color and some white color as well to give it some more depth to it. So the darker pink for the darker parts of the heart, like the shadow, and the white part for the lightest part of the heart. And I kind of leave the middle alone. I do blend them together though, with make sure that your paintbrush is wet and the paint's still wet, and you just blend it together in the middle there. It'll kind of fade out the white and the darker color too as well. So I'm just doing that to all the heart. I made the one on the left side underneath the head there a little darker though, just because it is right underneath the head, so it's going to be pretty dark. Now I'm going to start the body of the golden doodle. So what you're going to want to do is I did about 3 to 5 different colors mixed in them ahead of time, of like brown to light beige, white, light yellow color, and just streak it, like do little squiggly lines throughout the body there. So you do a couple squiggly lines of the darkest color first that you have, and then work your way up with lighter colors all the way to the lightest one that you have. And you want to put the lightest color on the outside, and then put some shadows in between, especially under the bandana part a little bit. If you feel like you made it too light in some part, no worry, you would just add lighter part back in, or the darker color back in. It's totally customizable. Don't feel like you messed up. The chances are you didn't, you know. It's totally fixable, or even if it doesn't look like it is, I promise you it is. You would just literally go back over it with the different colors that you have. Just don't feel afraid to play around with it. So what I did here, I painted the dog's face on, so like the eyeball and the nose, maybe a little smirk smile there, just to kind of get an idea where it'll be before I go ahead and paint in the fur. That way I can get the coloring right around the eyeball and the nose and the mouth. So you know how like it's always darker around the eyeball and the mouth a little bit. So that's why I did that. That way I can keep those areas a little darker as I'm going along and painting. So I kept it a little darker under the mouth. Like I said, I just kept doing little squiggly line strokes with like a smaller brush. So maybe you have a very thick round brush, so it looks like a skinny brush almost. You could use that brush, or you can use an angular brush. Angular brush is kind of one of my favorites because I find it like a multi-use thing. But yeah, you just keep twiggling lines through with different colors. Put the lighter colors up on top, so at the very end, that's what you'll do. You just make it a little darker around the mouth. So I took, for the mouth part underneath there, I just used some of the regular base coat that we did there. And the further back you go behind the nose, the snout there, you're going to want it a little bit darker, just because it is behind the snout, and the eyes are always the darkest part. So I just kept that mostly dark, and then basically the color up from the base coat there. And then I'll barely add in some light there around it. And like I said, I kept it dark around the eyes, so dark brown. And just took some little yellow around on the outside there, and some white. Just on the outside part though, not on the inner. Maybe a couple little lines in between there, just to like make it look more realistic, instead of it just being like a solid color there right on the eye. And then right up top there, I just added in some more of the lighter color stuff there. So like the white, light yellow, not really anything else. Now I'm gonna do on the very top, around the head out to the ears a little bit. So I just kept it the base coat a little bit because it is kind of behind all this fur, poof ball. And then I'll add in, like I'll just keep working my way up, starting with like one of the darker colors that you have to the fur, and then just work your way up to the lighter color. I always do the lighter color on the outside, on the edges, just because when you shine the light on top of the dog's head, that's where it's gonna be. And then it'll look darker the further down in you go. And working on the ears there. So again, you just keep doing the same thing that you've been doing with the whole dog body. Just start with the darker color, work your way up to the lighter. If you feel like it's too light, just add in some dark color back in. Or if you feel like it's not enough, keep adding with the light color. I mean, you just have to play around with it to get it to your liking. Make sure to have some dark colored a little bit in between the ears there. That way it looks more realistic. I mean, it doesn't even have to look realistic, but if you want it to be, that's how you would achieve that. Now I'm touching up the nose. I put some black color back in. That's why I only did one base color and didn't bother going too much detailed. I just wanted to mark where they were at. But now that I got the fur laid down, I'm going ahead and messing with the nose and the eyes now. So I just added in some black back in, and I'm also adding in some white. And then for the nose, I did white for the nose and blended in with a little black, kind of thinning out a little bit up top there, and then around the nose hole that you see there, and then maybe just a tiny smidge black underneath the nose to blend it out a little bit, make it look like it's darker underneath the nose. And then for the eyeball there, I'm adding in some brown color to it, because the dog has brown eyes. So I added some brown in there, made it a little lighter on the bottom, and then I faded it out up top, like darker black basically. And now I'm gonna, you don't have to do this part if you don't want to. If you like to keep it the way it looks, that's totally fine. But I'm adding black outline to like everything. So black on the body, outline the bandana. I find the black line kind of help a little bit, because I feel, especially with the body and the fur, I feel like it kind of helps separate everything a little bit and add some squiggly line, like you're adding depth almost to the fur everywhere. So that's kind of why I like doing that, and I feel like it really draws it to the dog more, draws attention, I mean. So I just basically, I didn't like do a total solid line through the whole thing. I just put my brush down and then lift it up and started in a different spot. So thin, streaky line basically throughout the whole thing. I didn't do a total lot of black lines throughout the fur part, just because I want to keep it simple and make it look like the fur still there. But when you have that part done, go ahead and add some white dot to the eyeball, and that'll finish it off. I just signed it there on the bottom there, but you don't have to do that part if you don't want to. But that's basically the gist of this painting. I hope that you enjoyed it, had fun, relaxing time, because that's what this is all about. Otherwise, please spread the word about me. Check out my other stuff on my Facebook page or my website. We'll have a bunch of other tutorials coming up. Spread the word, share this post. Please don't sell it though. Otherwise, I hope I see you next time. Bye.